I'm Edie Lush and I'm here in the Hub Culture Pavilion in Davos. Very pleased to be joined by Dr. Michael Spence, Professor of Economics at the Stern School at NYU.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, there's been a huge debate in the last few years about quantitative easing, the effect on economies in the West, whether it's time to wrap this whole experiment up. What's your impression of how it's gone and if we're going to move on from it now?
So whenever you're sort of evaluating something, I think it's important to ask yourself, as compared with what? Mm-hmm. And so for the most part, because we've had gridlock and polarization and other problems with getting things done on the political and policy side, the central banks have been sort of the only people on the playing field. And by and large, I think that the central bank, starting with the crisis, saved the system, mm-hmm. And then started to build a bridge, which was intended to buy time for these economies to complete the deleveraging process, restore the balance sheets, build demand back up, and as I see it, restructure in such a way as to sort of access more external demand via exports. But when you build a bridge, you're building a bridge so that, you know, you're buying time mm-hmm. for people to get something done. It's the same with the ECB.
Right.
The outright monetary transactions have stabilized the sovereign debt markets. They're buying time for countries like Spain and Italy to
get back on track.
To get back on track, to become competitive, to mm-hmm. make their economies more flexible and dynamic. Mm-hmm. But if they don't get on with the job, then you build a bridge and bought the time to nowhere. Right. And so I think this is the time at which the monetary policies are going to sort of inch back in the direction of more conventional, first with quantitative easing withdrawn over the next few months, and then eventually letting the short-run interest rates rise. And then there's really two questions. One is, how's the economy doing restructuring? In America, mm-hmm. pretty well. Okay. You know, it's pretty dynamic. I mean, you don't want to hear a lot of data, but it's pretty evident in the data. And then there's public sector investment and other reforms that would help, mm-hmm. you know, elevate the sustainable sort of growth in the long run. And that kind of really isn't happening.
Okay. So let me take just the data coming from the States, because I am interested in that, because we saw what was really interesting was when the dollar dropped, which was part of this.
Yep.
We saw a return to manufacturing in the
yep.
States. Now, do you expect that will go, or do you think that, or is that part of the story?
Yes, it is part of the story. So, but the story starts earlier, right? When you lever up an economy and everybody has a house they think is going to go up in value forever, they start spending money. So you have an economy that's bidding for resources by having very high levels of domestic consumption. At the high point, we were running a 6% current account deficit. Mm-hmm. What that means, it sounds technical, but what that means is we were consuming and investing 6% more than we produced.
Right.
And that pattern is unsustainable and fell apart. So now you need this other demand to make up the deficit that came with this collapse of the domestic demand. And yes, that makes at the margin mm-hmm. a bunch of things in manufacturing and services more competitive. Mm-hmm. I mean, the exchange rate, as you say, has something to do with it. Right. And that's a shift to a more sustainable structure and growth pattern mm-hmm. that isn't going to get reversed. And there's other factors. There's technology that's making it happen, and so on.
So what about the government side? Because I'm interested in that you said that the government part and the reforms and the regulatory part is not happening so much.
Right. Yeah, that's true in multiple places. So in America...